All right, we are live. So, welcome back to another Transparent Thursday. It is Thursday, like I said. And today we have Miss Coach Princess.
Yes.
And we will go ahead and introduce yourself, Coach Princess, and let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Coach Princess Pre. I'm a motivational speaker. More importantly, I'm also a book author. I write movies as well. I'm also a high fashion model as well.
Okay.
Okay, model. Now that's
Yes.
something I did not know
Yes.
that you were a model. Awesome. Everybody's logging in. Thank you all for joining us to Transparent Thursday. All right, tell us a little bit more. I want to hear about this book. So my background is in education, Coach Princess. So tell me a little bit more about coaching. I see we have a lot in common. I'm also a coach, and I was going into counseling, and my background is in education. So I'm interested in this book. So let's talk about first your coaching journey, and then tell us a little bit more about your book.
Yes. Okay. So I started coaching in my early 20s. I didn't know what I was doing. People normally magnetically, speak to me and ask me for advice. And I used to wonder, like, why everybody come to me and why do people feel so
Right.
comfortable to trust me with their, valuable gems and their, their personal business. But I knew that it was my journey to help heal people. So, and plus I like to talk, especially if you get to know me, I like to talk. And I realized that, me coaching and talking people, it actually helped them. So I decided to take what I've been through and try to help as many people as I can. So that's how I started becoming a coach.
Awesome. So what's your specialty in coaching?
Honestly, I just help with like sexual abuse, children and teenagers and women of all cultures who have been through molestation, rape, and abuse, and more importantly, mommy issues.
All
Oh,
right.
okay.
That's right up our alley. All things mama issues. And many of us women, and not to exclude, males, but, we're female focused. Many women have dealt with a lot of trauma from sexual abuse. It's
Yeah.
astounding. Like I think the last time I read the statistics, it was like over 90% of females have experienced some form, as you all know, because that's your expertise, of child molestation, abuse, something in that category. So we want to make sure that we keep that conversation open, because that's the only way that we're going to tackle this. And I was raised in a house where it's like, don't do as I say, don't do as I do as I say. And what goes in the house stays in the house. And so what you do is you perpetuate that type of system of secrecy. And I say no more. That's why my daughter and I started this trail to just open up and be honest and authentic about our relationship, not smiling in public and then crying when you get home, or fussing and fighting when you get home. So what you do, Coach Princess, is needed. And maybe we can team up and
Absolutely.
offer that. And we're also doing impact. That's something
Absolutely.
that God gave me to do. It's going to be once a month, a free virtual group, and we're looking for an in-house location also for impact. And we would love for you to come and share your knowledge and your experience in helping healing women. So
Absolutely.
is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
Yes, actually, I just started my foundation. It's called the Big Sister Tribe organization, and it's actually basically about what it is about a lot of women of all cultures who are healed, and we're just here to help our other fellow sisters who isn't healed. So it doesn't matter the age range, whether they're 16, 15, or 30 and 40. So the Big Sister Tribe is actually what it sounds like, the Big Sister Tribe.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, sign us up
Yes,
if you're
ma'am.
looking for
Yes.
volunteers.
Yes.
Sign us
Yes,
up. We would love
absolutely.
to partner with you. So
Absolutely.
how often do you do your coaching? So Tell us about that. How, if someone wanted your services, your coaching services through healing, how would someone get in contact with you?
Well, to be honest with you, I'll be 40 soon. I'm not social media savvy, but I have people that are helping. I have a team that is helping me get everything to my bio. So soon I'll have my link tree up, so they'll be able to go to my bio and click the link there and be able to access me. And also they can access me to as via DM as well.
Okay.
Well, that sounds good. Before we get into the questions, we have to go ahead and let everyone know that the Get in the Room tour is coming to Atlanta, and it will be featuring Street Poet, Big Sexy Official, a live performance from Steezo TM, Maisha Banks, which is also a motivational speaker, and no one else other than,
last but not least,
Coach Princess.
Coach Princess.
So what a better opportunity to bring her on and present that information as well. So you all do not forget to get in the room. There's going to be motivational speaking, live performances, networking opportunity. What else am I missing? Food, drinks, spa lounge for the VIP parking.
Yeah.
So make sure you get in the room.
Don't forget the vendors.
Don't forget the vendors.
Yes.
And if you stay to the end of the live, we'll give you a code to get some funds off. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yes. So we did produce that. Let everyone know that. So make sure you get in the room. If you want to see us in person, Coach Princess, Mama Issues Podcast, and everyone else we just named, make sure you will be there. We cannot wait to meet you.
Tell them how to get there. Go to Eventbrite.
No, go to the link in the bio. Make it easy.
Okay, link in the bio.
Make it easy. And then click on Eventbrite.
You see how these young folks are? You see that? That's why I have daughter issues. That's our next episode.
Click the link. Don't log off. But once this live is done,
don't log off.
Don't click on the link till the end of this live. Then we're gonna give you a coupon code.
All right.
To get some funds
That's
off
a
since you
surprise.
drive. Yeah. I didn't tell her about it, but surprise.
That's wonderful.
So are you ready, Princess, for these questions?
No, I want to hear about her book real quick.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So tell us about your book.
Yes. Okay. I have it here. It's called Secrets of My Diary. And it is exactly what it sounds like, the secrets of my diary. I began writing when I was a little girl in this little journal that was given to me by one of my grandmothers. And I used to take it everywhere I go. And I started to put everything together in, I believe, 2018 onto my laptop to be able to get the book published. So this book is basically about mommy issues, about a young lady named Brandy, which is myself, but my name is Princess, how her and a group of friends been through molestation. To speak about my friend, Gina, she was in a situation where she was being molested, by her biological father. And a situation happened when her mother found out. She ended up getting pregnant from her biological father. So it's basically about a group of girls, like I said, who's been through molestation, rape, child abuse. As far as myself, I've been through molestation, verbal abuse, physical abuse with my mother. And, my mother, she's overcome a lot. She's overcome, drug addiction. And for her to beat that, not many women or men make it through drug abuse. So to grow up in a household, like you said, what goes on in this house stays in this house. And the traumatic events that I, remember and stuff like that, this book is very overpowering for other women and children who has been through things. Now, I would say this. I used to cry and be upset with God because I didn't understand why I was going through what I was going through. But God allowed me to realize that it is not your journey for yourself. What you're going through is other people. And once I grabbed hold to that concept that it wasn't about me and it was about other people, then I decided to just enjoy and embrace my journey. But I do want to add, I speak about a few artists in the book. Mario Barrett, I'm sure a lot of us, you ladies know Mario. His music actually has helped me Music has always been my getaway, but more than likely, it was always his music. So anytime I would get upset, or after my stepdad would come in the room and touch me or molest me or whatnot, I would put on that music and just listen and feel his voice, feel the pain in his voice, because he's been through things as well. But I don't want to promote my book around this point in artists who helped me. It's more about the women and children who has gone through, and men as well, because they be molested as well and touched, and they don't want to talk about it. But that's the base of my book, and it's very juicy in there.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that will help. And a lot of times we do talk about what we've been through, but for like what you said, just sharing and help to coach women and men if they're willing to come forward, because I know there's a stigma attached to sexual molestation and abuse when it comes to men, because of, like I said, like the stigma of what society, especially in American culture, puts on men to be so masculine and not to be emotional or honest or even transparent.
Right.
And that's part of, like, your book is really needed, just to open up that conversation to say, you know what, I've been there too, and here's the healing component. And so that's what the Lord gave me, is impact, because there's so many things in life that we go through that will impact us in a negative way. And so impact is an acronym, but it's also a 6-week healing process where you have to put in the work for your own healing. We can't help what we've been through. And it's unfortunate that many of us have gone through child molestation, abuse, physical, emotional, and whatever, what have you. But we don't have to stay there. That's the beauty. And so with what you're doing, Coach Princess, and the things that we're doing together, we are a village. And I may not be able to touch the women that you're assigned to, and you may not be able to touch the women that I'm assigned to. But together, guess what, my sister, we can open up ourselves and avail ourselves through what we've been through to share with someone who's going through it, so they can come out of it victorious. So I just wanted to commend you for that. And hey, we have to do it. We're on a mission. This is ministry. I know my daughter and I, we laugh a lot, we play a lot, and I just love her to life. And I love the women that we're connecting to. There she go. Mwah.
Yes,
But you know what? The sad thing is, she's kind of like that because of me, because of what I went through. Like you said, when you've gone through trauma and being touched inappropriately, I'm going to keep it light. Then, you don't want anybody to touch you.
That part.
And so you don't know how to be affectionate. That's me.
That's me too.
I didn't know how to be affectionate. So she might not have gone through what I've gone through, but because of the lack of proper affection, it affects you. What you got to say?
She know I got something to say.
Yeah.
No, I may have not gone through exactly what you have gone through, but what woman has gone through exactly what another woman has gone through. But we have all, talking about this subject, been through something similar to where now we don't want to be touched, and we don't, and matter of fact, stay tuned, because now it just triggered a memory. We do have an episode specifically about this conversation coming out when the next set of episodes come out. So I don't want to dive in and but yeah, we both have experienced what you have experienced, not in the depth of what you have experienced. So I can relate, but I cannot, I don't know exactly what it is. So that's why we're here to support, because your story helped me. I'm not dismissing what has happened to me, but it makes me feel like, wow, it was more traumatic than what my experience was. So then it's like, okay, if she can get through hers, then I can continue life getting through the situation that had happened to me. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense, y'all?
Yeah. And we were, so I know you're not trying to really give away the podcast episode that's coming up, but It's really emotional. I'm just going to be honest. Get ready for your tissues because it's an area that is a mother's worst nightmare. And you can attest to this, Coach Princess, and maybe some of you who have joined us live, maybe you can attest to it as well, where you never realize that the person that you're attached to is the person to harm your child. And so we want you all to, we don't want to rehash it. We don't want to start crying or anything like that. We want to keep it light, but we want to know that healing is here. But on the podcast, the new episode that's coming up, it hadn't been released yet. We're probably going to release it after March the 30th.
We may have to go live again.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she, just inappropriate touch. I'm gonna put it like, that's all I'm gonna say. But we break that down on the podcast because how many people, let's be honest, how many families, I don't care what color you are, black, white, red, yellow, brown, purple, how many families really talk about that? Right. Even if it happens, have we really had the conversation of healing, of saying, when this happened to me, that hurt? Like, we really don't have those conversations. Sometimes it happens and then it just kind of goes away.
Especially in the community.
Right. Especially in our Black and brown communities. Yes. I can say for a lot of communities, because we're multicultural, multiracial family. I don't know of any families that really talk about it. It's taboo. Because it's embarrassing and no one really wants to talk about that.
Yes, it is swept under the rug a lot of the time.
Right. Someone says it's swept under the rug. Right. And it's time out for that. We have to live in the days of the spirit of truth. And we have to put the enemy to flight. And the reason why the enemy doesn't want us to talk about these things, and let's be appropriate, like it's age appropriate, you know, we have to be appropriate as far as the age, and we have to be sensitive, but yet we still cannot allow these things to occur in our families, in our home, in our children. Like, we cannot allow these to occur. And it starts with the conversation.
Yes.
And it's a bold conversation because honestly, I didn't even want to talk about it. Since we're talking about Transparent Thursday, let me be transparent. We talked about it. We dealt with the situation, but I really didn't want to open that up, not on camera.
Right.
But we had to remember that our assignment is not for us, it's for someone else, like we said before, to get through. And if we can be strong enough to be so vulnerable and vocal and spread it across everywhere, right, that would help somebody that's in it or that's going through it or that is still holding on to it. Because me right now, I'm 28 and we're just now for the first time in life ever having that conversation. And it happened, you know, years ago.
When she was 17 years old.
Yeah, when I was 17. So having the conversation just now, it felt like it happened yesterday in that moment.
Right.
So yeah.
We dealt with it then. Don't get me wrong. We dealt with it then, but we didn't really deal with it, and we didn't really deal into the trauma that it caused her. So that, strength. Thank you so much. Give my baby some love. Give Coach Princess some love. Give yourself some love. Let us see some hearts.
Let us see some hearts. Let us give us some hearts. Give us some hearts. Give us some hearts. Yes.
This is something that really isn't easy, you know. And I just want to maintain a positive spirit about it. It's okay. It's okay. And God doesn't put more on us than you can bear. And you mentioned, Shani, that you feel like, dang, what I went through really wasn't what some people have gone through, or maybe not what my mom has gone through, or Coach Princess has gone through, or some of the people who are listening, watching or listening. But it doesn't matter. God doesn't put more on us than we can bear. And so because we went through it, that's the depth that we're going to help bring somebody out.
You know what? Whatever I went through is for who God sent to me. Whoever you went through is for whoever God sent to you. The situations that happen to you is exactly, you know, like somebody has went through something exactly like you did. So we're all assigned to someone. So we have to speak our truth.
Right.
Wow, we weren't even supposed to be talking about this.
Coach Princess, what have you, girl? We weren't supposed to talk about this.
I'm so sorry, ladies.
But somebody needed to hear it.
Yeah.
somebody needed to hear it. And I thank God that you were able, like through your book, through your coaching, talk about a lot of these issues that we faced as a society. Because I can't say that it's just women, because men go through sexual abuse as well.
Yes.
And it's taboo for almost any culture, any race. So I thank you for opening up that platform, for being brave, for having the strength to and the courage to really open up and write a book about it.
Yes.
It's hard enough talking about it, but to see it in print.
Yes.
Yeah. So I commend you, my sister, for that. And you have our total support. Whatever you need from us, we are here for you.
Yes.
So I commend you. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that before we get into these juicy mama issue questions?
Well, no, I don't have anything else to add to that, because I know if I add something else, we may end up giving away the next episode, and I don't want to do that.
Okay.
All right. So you've already answered a couple of these questions. So I want to know briefly, what was your relationship like with your mother? And do you have children? And are you a girl mom?
Okay. Wow, those like 3 questions in one. Okay. So the relationship with my mom, I can say now it's a lot better. The relationship with her back then, it wasn't. It was literally like she was just there. And I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
You know how some mothers are absent? I would say there's nothing more traumatizing than to have a mother that is physically present but absent. It's like she's there, but she's not there. Mm-hmm. My mom, she's always been a single parent. She had to work long hours, so she really wasn't there in the house. And the man she was dating at that time, he was the one that was really around us. So my mom was present, but she wasn't. Our relationship was not great at all. My mom just tolerated me because I was her child. She favored my brother more than me. As far as my oldest sister, Katrina, she wasn't in the household, so her relationship is a lot different. But as far as mine, to answer that question, it was not great at all. It wasn't. But now it is. It's a beautiful relationship, and answer certain questions is going to give away the book more. So I'll just say they got to read the book to get the ending of that part.
Okay. So are you a girl mom or a boy mom or both?
I'll say this. I've had a lot of miscarriages. So I would say I would have, if they did survive, I would say I would have a total of 4 children. My oldest would be 19, and my youngest would probably be born in May. So I'm not sure if there are girls or boys, but I'll say I'm both a girl mom and a boy mom.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your strength for saying that, because I know that may be difficult. I haven't necessarily dealt with what you're saying, but that takes a lot of strength to say that on live, and for you to let it replay after this. So I know that will give some strength to other women that that are going through it or may have gone through it. But I did want to touch on the question that you previously answered. Me and my mother's relationship, we dealt with that similarly too, because my mom was mostly working, because it's a total of 6 of us.
Yeah.
So it's just me and her on the podcast, but it's 6 of us.
Was your mom single? A single mom?
Yes.
Okay.
She was.
Yeah. So my father, he left when I was 13. But we rekindled our relationship once I was 18. But throughout that time, she was gone. She was a workaholic because it was so many of us. And I do understand I used to say the same thing of, man, it's one thing of having a mom that's just gone versus having a mom that's present. So that did take a toll on our relationship. And yeah, it did. It did. And we talk about that too. So I can definitely relate when it comes to feeling like you're invisible and you have a mom right here.
Right.
I could imagine it was a double whammy for you because I don't know. Do you have a lot? Do you have any siblings? No, I'm just saying. My thought was, let me finish my thought. My thought was maybe a double whammy for you because I could imagine being a sibling of having multiple siblings and only one parent. That's what I was thinking. Like maybe that's a double whammy for you. Like maybe feeling invisible. Did you have other siblings, Coach Princess?
Actually, I do. I have my mom's side and I have my dad's side. But on my mom's side, it's just me, my oldest sister Katrina, and my middle brother. His name is Chris. He's a little bit older than me, so it was just me and him in the household. My oldest sister lived with my grandparents, so she didn't experience what I experienced. She didn't even know what I was going through until I recently told her. She literally just found out, I believe, last year. I finally broke down and told her everything about what I went through in the household. So to answer that question, it was just two children in the household, me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I often wondered because I lost my mom to suicide when I was 11 years old. So I grew up without a mother. Mm-hmm. And so that's why a lot of my daughters have mommy issues or had mommy issues because I didn't know what it was like to be a mom. I didn't know what it was like to have a mom around growing up, or let alone to have adult daughters needing their mom. So I often wondered as a child, and even now, what's the worst? Is it worse having a mom, not ever having her there, like she's gone on to glory, or having a present parent but being absent? So either way it still hurts, but I often wondered that, that question. And I've heard you and so many others say how hurtful and how painful it is to have a parent like right there but not be there. And I've even heard my own children say that to me. And I can't apologize for providing for my daughters, but I can apologize for not being there emotionally. I can apologize for that. And that's a difficult position to be in. That's why I know God created us to have a 2-parent home. Because the imbalance is just so great, and the devastation, feeling like you're being pulled or not fulfilled or not seen. It's just devastating, and I'm sorry that you went through that, Princess. I really am. But I thank God that you have the courage and the strength right now to write a book, to go. Someone has a question. Yes. Does someone have a question? If you have a question, please put it in the chat. If you have a question for Coach Princess or for Shani or for myself, Mama Shelly, go ahead and put it in the chat.
So if we're in this conversation, because
we're all in
this conversation. So do not be scared to answer a question, ask a question, or answer it.
Right. In the chat.
I don't know. For me, I don't know whether it's worse. That day hasn't come for me yet to feel the void of someone, my mother passing on. All I know is the void that I felt when you were there. Mm-hmm. So I would have to wait, You're
gonna wait a long time because I don't plan on going nowhere.
I'll have to wait. But I mean, I think it will probably hurt more once you rebuild that relationship and you rekindle that relationship. The more that I grow in the relationship, I feel like the that other part would possibly hurt more, right? Yeah. Right? Because it's like, okay, we can fix the relationship, but that's it. After that, you know what I mean? What do you think, Princess? What do you think? What's your answer?
Well, honestly, honestly, for that one, I have no answer for that one. I have no answer for that one at all.
You don't know that until I was just talking to a young lady today, and she was saying how she lost her mom, and she was saying, I didn't understand my friends. I didn't understand their pain. I didn't understand their hurt until I lost my mother. She said, I tried to. She said, but it's one of those things you have to go through. You have to experience. I didn't know, like I said, I come from a single father home, and my father meant the world to me. Even when my mom was alive, I was still a daddy's girl, and he
Yeah.
took really good care of me. So I thank God for that. And my heart goes out. I don't understand, and I never ever want to understand, but my heart goes out to little girls who don't really have that positive paternal role model. And I could never imagine my dad harming me. Like that's an atrocity. But what was I gonna say? I kind of got sidetracked. Um, the Lord probably said you don't need to go no further. Leave it at that. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But we do have a question in the chat.
He was just saying that that was a deep thought.
Okay.
The loss of my mother, the pain is numbing. I could imagine that would be like you feel like you're in a dream every day.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I was saying. Yeah. The only thing that it hurts, and it still hurts because I'm like, oh man, I wish my mom could have seen this, or seen my daughters do this, or see me do this. But losing my father, to answer you all's question, like you said, I don't know what that's gonna feel like. It's one of those things until you've been there, then you know. But it's an unfortunate pain. That was the worst pain in my life because I never knew that I could love the way I loved my dad. Like it just ripped like the soul out of me. Like a piece of you is just gone. But we don't want to be like, I don't want to go so down.
Deep.
I had to go deep because the question was on the table.
I feel the energy.
What? All righty.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
and ladies,
no, I want to say something. Sometimes we have dark sense of humor, but I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah. Oh, we live, huh?
Yes, we're live. Stop.
Sorry, y'all.
On a lighter note.
I am sensitive. I promise you. But it's the dark humor. I promise you I'm sensitive. Because that was my grandfather. This is my mother, y'all.
My dad had a great sense of humor.
No, he did.
And we all do too. And I used to say, Dad, you're not gonna die. He was like, what you talking about? I don't want to live forever. So no, we can laugh about it now. But
Princess, this is our first time meeting you. You probably think we crazy.
Welcome home.
No. I'm soaking it all in, ladies. I'm soaking it all in. I do wanna add, Shawnee, like when you asked me the question, what was my thoughts? Like when I say I had no questions, I had no answers for that. It's like I haven't been in a situation to lose a parent, although my biological father, he wasn't around. He said my mom kept him away. My mom said he stayed away, by choice. So I don't know what it feels like to really have my biological father around. However, I was adopted out by Eddie Walker. It's crazy because he has the same last name as my biological father, and he has the same last name as me. So he has been a wonderful, wonderful father to me. And I don't know what I would do if I did, lose him. And he actually taught me, how to love and how to really be strong. But I do want to also add that sometimes when you have mommy issues, you become numb. And that's what happened to me. So I was never really affected by my dad not being there because I'm a mommy's girl and I only wanted my mother. And I would just say this: last year, I thought that everything was good with my mom. And then all of a sudden a burst of emotions just came back. And I finally talked to my mom and I let her know, like, I just wanted you. I didn't want no toys. I didn't want no clothes. I didn't want my dad. I wanted you, And, she broke down, she started crying, and she sincerely apologized for being present, but not being able to save me from the man who she loved and who she was married to. So, my mom has been through a lot herself, and I can definitely agree with you, ladies. Sometimes when a mother go through things, it rolls over to the children. And
Yes.
I want to add this. I definitely want to add this. When I was asked about the do I have children? It's crazy because when people ask me that question, I normally do not like to answer that question because that question is very, very, very sensitive to me. But that
Yes.
was a good question. So that will be another episode, and that one is going to be very, very deep. I actually have Secrets of My Diary Part 2 regarding the children's situation. So that's a very deeper situation for me. I would say that. So yeah.
Well, I do want to say thank you so much for opening up and being vulnerable. We do believe in being hot, staying honest, open, and transparent.
Yes.
And like Jesus, how can anyone know what you've been through if you don't show them your wounds? And how can anyone heal? And how can anyone identify? So thank you so much for opening up and showing your wounds. And that's what it's about. It may not hit right now, but I guarantee, I know that someone is going to hear your testimony and hear what you've gone through. And the fact that you answered my last question before we end this conversation, you answered the last question. How have you and your mother reconciled, or how have you overcome some of the issues that you've had with your mother from childhood, adulthood, or whatever? So it's good to hear that you are working on mending that relationship. And trust me, it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen and it will get better. I guarantee you. So thank you so much for sharing, sharing what you've done. And one of our listeners says transparency. I think it's Abdul Chester.
Yeah. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Transparency helps other people heal. And that is really true. That's why we made our podcast the way it is. Like
it's just open.
We sit in the room and we talk to each other, and then after we leave, we're like, why did we talk about that? Everybody's gonna know our business. But I really feel like that, like everybody's story, like as we keep saying tonight, that's the thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like someone is going to heal from all of our stories. So we have to think of like beyond us. We have to keep Chestnut, Mom. He says Chestnut.
My apologies. Chestnut. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for the input. Chestnut. Thank you.
Ladies,
so
ladies,
ladies,
I'm so sorry. Is it okay if I can add something else? If you don't
mind?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Okay, I do want to definitely say this. My mom did the best she could. I'm not here, to bash my mom or belittle my mom. I'm thankful for my mom. And as much as I've been through with my mom, if God was to give me a choice to trade out my mother, I wouldn't trade out my mother, because with my mother, I became so strong, mentally and spiritually. And it's crazy because the tables has turned to where my mom need me more than anything. I can be that daughter, like, well, you never was there for me, and turn my back on my mom. But you get one mom. It doesn't matter what your mom has done to you. You get one mom. You have to love your mom because no one can ever replace your mom. So I decided to really just fall in love with my mom. My mom is super thick, but I'm very petite, and I love to embrace my mother. So to get the opportunity to be able to mend a relationship with my mom, and to be able to go have girls tripping, girls time with my mom, it's a privilege and it's an honor, because some children and some adults don't get that opportunity. The child has died or the mother has died, and they don't never get that opportunity to mend that chapter. But for God to bless me and my mom to get the opportunity to mend that mother and daughter relationship, it's such an honor and such a privilege. So big shouts out to my mother. I do love her sincerely, and she loved me. And I can just say that right now, in today's timing, our relationship is good. It's perfecto. I love it.
And that's the point. That's the point
blessing.
of Mama Issues podcast, to lay it all out there and show that it is possible to have a healthy mother and daughter relationship and to have those difficult conversations and into resolution. Like there's a shortage on mothers and daughters having horrible relationships and not knowing how to have those difficult conversations. So we're here, you're here, we are all testimonies. The women that we interview before you and the ones that we're going to interview after is proof that mothers and daughters can sit down and have these conversations. It's not just us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just you. It's possible if we all put that ego aside.
Yeah.
That ego aside.
Not even ego. It could just be learned behavior, or sometimes you don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know. When you're in survival mode, you don't know. You don't know what you're doing. But you said something that resonated in my spirit. You said choice. I made a choice.
Yes.
I made a choice to love my mother. I made a choice, so we have to make a choice. In whatever we do, we have to make a choice. And I just thank God for you coming on. We like to say our motto is, we don't want you to just heal, but we want you to heal whole. And so thank you, Coach Princess. Thank you all who decided you could have done anything this evening, but thank you for hanging in there with us. Mama Issues Podcast.
Those conversations are imperative for growth. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
they are. Oh, something else. Chestnut said the
hashtag choice. Yes.
Hashtag choice. Yes.
Let's start making the choice.
I love it.
To heal.
Oh, that was it. Pain turns into purpose.
Oh, you know what?
That's deep. Pain turns into purpose.
We actually have an episode out for Purpose to Pain.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
So go check that out.
What?
Pain to Purpose. Something like that. I can't remember the title. From Pain to Purpose.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But we want you to heal and heal whole. So thank you so much, Princess, for sharing. Everyone else that tuned in, thank you so much. Thank you for the love, the hearts, the comments. And where do we want them to be on March 30th?
The Get in the Room
tour. Our very own Princess is gonna be there too. She's one of our motivational speakers.
Yes.
Yay! And if you want to pick up a copy of her book, she'll have a copy of her book there in the room.
Yes.
You said that you were going to give a code. Are you gonna give the code out?
Do y'all want the code?
Say yes. Give us some hearts if you want the code.
Oh my God. Hold on, I forgot I was about to say something. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Every Thursday, we are on live at 8 p.m. We do this every Thursday with a different story. So make sure you tune in every Thursday. Follow us so you can tune in on every Thursday. We usually start at 8. Today it was a little technical difficulties, but make sure
AT&T acting up, you all. AT&T.
Yeah. So make sure you're getting in this live room on every Thursday. March 30th. Get in the room, get your tickets. It's going to be a time.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a time, and we're going to reveal some secrets in there too. So make sure you get in the room. Coach Princess, I just want to say thank you so much for joining, and thank you for accepting the invite so last minute. Thank you for being a team player.
Team player, yes. So we like to end in prayer before we go off. And like what I say, whatever you do, we want you to heal whole.
Heal whole.
So we're going to end us in a quick prayer. So Father, in the name of Jesus, we just thank you. We adore you. We bless your name. We thank you for the opportunity that whatever we have gone through, it allowed us to grow through so we can share our testimony to someone else, to encourage them and to strengthen them and to build them up. Father, in the name of Jesus, if there is a man, a woman, a boy, a girl, a child, a mother, a daughter, a father, a son who's going through any type of situation of sexual molestation or anything that we've talked about, or any parent issue that they feel that's too hard, let them know that there is nothing too hard for you. And God, we just thank you now. We proclaim and we declare in the name of Jesus that their relationships will be whole, that they will be understanding, that there will be peace in the midst of the storm. We thank you now, and we appreciate you for the opportunity to just spread joy and love and peace and encouragement. This is our prayer. In your name, we pray. Amen. And
Amen.
whatever you do, we want you to heal
Heal
whole.
whole.
We'll see you
Yes.
March 30th in the room. Take care.